Hey everybody, today I'm going to try to do some cleanup work here in my row of Misfit shrubs and perennials. So this is where last fall I just tucked in a bunch of plants that weren't doing all that well, or ones that weren't necessarily sellable, and they're looking really good. But before I show them to you, I do want to do a little cleanup. I don't have any mulch down, I have no weed suppression, so it's all kind of coming out, and so I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. But for right now, I figure got to start somewhere, so I'm going to start just by getting some of this up. I'm going to try this garden weasel tool. I see people on TV use it and they have great success. Let's see if I can have the same kind of success here on YouTube. Okay, somehow within the last like 5 minutes, storm clouds have come in and it is starting to thunder a little bit. And so that means there's lightning and there is rain. So I guess I'm gonna have to postpone this project a little bit longer. So that was a very quick storm. It came through, poured down rain, and then it was gone. So I came back out and got a little bit of work done. I didn't have the energy to reset up the camera, so I'm not going to show you that, but I will give you a quick little tour. It's a mess over here still, but I still want to show you how some of those shrubs are doing and give you an idea of maybe what I'm going to do with this area this year. Okay, so this was the early evolution hydrangea that was growing like a little mini tree. So we figured, hey, let's just foster that growth and keep it going. So it's starting to get its buds. This is a really early blooming one. And it's one that has buds both on the outside, and then there's also a lot of them on the inside. And it is starting to send up sprouts down at the bottom. So we'll just trim those back because we're going to celebrate this little mini tree form. That's kind of unusual, so we wanted to do that. Over here, this is an Amsonia, and I love the little blue star-shaped flowers of the Amsonia. And this one has nice foliage on it, and it looks great now, but in the fall, it gets this beautiful golden color. And then we've got some more hydrangeas, and these were all hydrangeas that were a little bit deformed or had crossed branches or kind of weird things going on. More of the lilies. I was really happy to see that the hardy hibiscus were all starting to emerge, because this is one of the last perennials to come out of the ground or to send up leaves. So we're happy to see that's doing well. More lilies. And then here's another hydrangea. I mean, all the hydrangeas are just filling out with leaves really very nicely. And here's another hydrangea. One of my mom's delphiniums. She usually has several in this row, but I only see one. So maybe they're kind of wrapping up. I'm not sure. But the lilies are doing great, and so are those hydrangeas. This here is a Baptisia, and I'm a big fan of Baptisia. This one's particularly nice because it has that beautiful yellow flower. And boy, the ones in the greenhouse, the pollinators have been all over it, especially the bees. I love this, and this can get really nice and big. I love the foliage on it because, I don't know, they just have a nice kind of texture to them. They kind of quiver a little bit in the wind. And then you can see lots of lilies doing well. Another hydrangea that was doing its little tree form number, so we celebrated that. And then more lilies again. And the lilies kind of made the job a little harder with that little garden weasel. That garden weasel was kind of nice though, because I just use it to kind of loosen things up. I'm going to have to go back in every week and keep cleaning it out to get it under control. I need to figure out some kind of mulch or something. Here's another hardy hibiscus. This one's really starting to emerge. So what's your favorite, I guess, mulch or ground cover or weed suppressor that you use? Because I'm going to need to do something here because I won't be able to keep up with it. And then another hydrangea. This one is the Zinfandel. That's one of my favorites as well. So got a good start. Lots to do yet. You can see I got plenty of debris. And then over there, that little spot right there, that's my little patch where I kind of try my little plants out and stuff. It's full of thistle and all kinds of other stuff right now. So I got plenty of work ahead of me. These are my little evening projects. So I'm looking over my work from yesterday. It looks pretty good, but of course every weed that I missed has popped through and is probably thriving more than it ever was, but I'm just gonna work with it. I mean, ideally I'd love it if I just had this all weed free and it was just perfect. But if I waited for everything to be perfect, then I probably would not do anything. And what I really would like to do is get some annuals in here just to tuck in. I don't usually do this, but it's not just something I want to do. So the things I want to put in, I have some petunias that I'll stick in a couple places, but also I have this salvia that I started from seed. This is a variety, we also used to call it clary when I was younger. I have two colors, I have blue and I have pink. And my first thought was I'd love to be able to do two rows. So one color of pink, one color of blue. But then after I thought about it, I don't think I quite have enough room. So now I've got to make the decision of, do I just do a stretch of pink and then a stretch of blue, or do I alternate? But sometimes I feel like when I alternate, it looks a little too like Las Vegas-like or something. I don't know. So I got to make a call on that. So I'm just going to start doing it. I'm going to try a new tool because, well, I've never tried this one before, and it's the only one I can find that's kind of this size that I need. So it's what I'm going to use. I'm going to make do with what I have. So let's give this a go. I'll show you kind of how I'm doing it, and well, I'll make the decisions as I go. Okay, you can see I'm not starting out with like perfectly cleaned out stuff. There's still stuff growing in here, but hopefully I can keep on it enough so that it doesn't overtake. But basically all I'm going to do, I guess, is just kind of pop a hole in here, loosen up that soil so that at least my seedlings have a little something to jump onto. And then with this, I'm going to just pop out a couple of these. So I need to make sure that I don't mix up my colors here. So what color is this? This is going to be the blue. I'm going to start with pink. So I'm going to start down here. Let's start with this one here. Well, that one's too tiny. Let's start with a nice big one. There we go. So let's see what I can do here. I don't have a good system set up. Uh-oh, what color is that one? Where did that come from? It's a jumper. So that's all I'm going to do is pop this one in here. Okay, and then I do have my little bamboo piece marked at 12 inches, and that's what they recommend spreading these out at. So what I'm going to do is just kind of try to keep them at about that size. So, oops. And so whenever I measure, I just go middle to middle. So middle of that to the middle of that should be pretty good. And I'm just going to do the best I can with what I got here. Okay. Well, that's a start. I'll just keep planting these up and we'll see what happens. Here at the top of the hill, I think I'm going to plant some of my zinnias that I have just to see. Now these are going to be a little bit farther ahead than, or a little farther apart, because they're supposed to get a little bigger. You know what I might do? Nah, I'm just going to do it this way. So all I'm going to do, I don't know, I'm going to give this a go. So I think I'm going to just pop in some of these Zowie yellow flame zinnias, because these are really cool ones too. So I've got them all in. You might notice I'm not real great about straight lines on this one, but I'm not worried about it. This is just kind of a play garden. I'm just throwing things in. You notice I didn't prep the soil. I didn't do any kind of amending. I don't have any mulch down right now. When this used to be a bed of Lisianthus, we used to be really diligent about amending the soil. We put grass clippings down as a mulch to suppress the weeds. We did all kinds of stuff, and right now I don't have time for that. So I'm just gonna see what takes, and whatever makes it, and then I'll be able to talk about how easy it was, I guess. We'll see what happens. So I might stick some more things into, and I feel like I should have put little flags in where the zinnias were, because where I planted the seeds, because I might not know what's a weed and what's a zinnia later on. You know what? I'm just flying through this, making this happen. So we'll see what happens. I'm ready to roll with this, and I'll take what I can get.